Hello, Nomads, and welcome to episode 30 of the Nomads of Fantasy podcast. My name is Brandon. I am your host, and I'm also here with Eric.
I have to believe in a world outside my own mind.
Well, that's it.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
Okay, that was good.
That's it.
Why did I feel like there's more to that?
Why are we pausing?
I don't know. And Dave?
Remember Sammy Jenkins? Of course. Standard.
That was good. I actually have not that I do quotes, but I have a quote from this movie. Not verbatim, but he says, "How am I to heal if I cannot feel time?" And I thought that was really good. Something that I noticed on like my fifth watching of this movie. We're talking about Memento. It's a movie that came out. When did this movie come out?
2001.
2001, right? Yeah, it's a while ago. By Christopher Nolan. Great early flick in his portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're talking about Memento here. But before we get too far into it, Eric, do you want to plug our social?
Sure. If you want to get in touch with us, any thoughts on Memento, that's the name of the movie, or you just want to reach out to us, you can email us at nomadsoffantasy@gmail.com. You can also go to our website, thenomadsoffantasy.com, where you can find all of our backlog of episodes, social channels, and we're at Nomads of Fantasy on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah. So we picked the movie Memento. Dave and I have seen this movie. Eric, you have not.
I'm a first timer.
So I love when this happens, when somebody has seen it and then somebody hasn't seen it. It makes good conversation. So
Especially this one.
Yeah, and this is a unique one. I think we picked this movie a while ago. We knew we were going to talk about it, so here we are. Before we get too far, let's do a quick catch up on what we've been up to. If there's anything you want to plug on TV, a movie, video. I'm pretty sure we're all playing the same video game right now, but let's go with Dave. Why don't you start us off?
I think the only thing that I've been doing that I know you guys have been doing is I watched Red Notice. Came out on Netflix. It's like
is that the Rock?
Heist,
is that the Rock
heist movie? Yeah, Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot. It's pretty standard heist flick. You know, it has its cheesy parts. You figure you get Dwayne and Ryan together, they're kind of perfect for each other. I don't know. I've never been a big Gal fan. I think her acting's a little wooden, but
I didn't finish that movie. That's what I have to say about it.
Yeah, it was. There's a lot of the standard tropes, and all the chuckle parts come from Ryan Reynolds saying things that Ryan Reynolds says. Basically, all those are the times where I was laughing. But it's a standard movie. If you got time to kill, it's not worth. It's worth it, but I wouldn't go in with high expectations.
How do you guys feel about The Rock? Like, I feel like at this point he's just like a caricature. Like, I like him. He's a likable guy, but like
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Where he's like this giant guy, and he's like we don't really care about his acting. I mean, sometimes he delivers decent acting, I guess, but I don't think he's going to win an Oscar in his career. But he, right now he's going through that.
Probably not.
Movies. Yeah, he's just, I don't know. It's just like you just need a jacked dude who can do comedy and action. He's your guy. And that's what Schwarzenegger was for a while. So
he's a likable guy, and like he's got the charisma and everything, and it's fun to watch him.
And it's like, oh, it's The Rock again. Like, it's the kind that you can't,
Yep.
I don't know.
he needs to be a bad guy, or he needs to do a drama.
I was gonna say he plays the same character in everything he's in. Like, he's just The Rock, It's that character in every movie, no matter what character.
Did you see Jungle Book?
The Jungle Cruise, you mean?
I'm sorry, yeah, Jungle Cruise.
No,
yeah,
no.
Disney.
But every time I boot up Disney Plus, I see The Rock's big dumb face.
It is not good. It's watchable. There's nothing good about it. I think the best part about that movie is him, because it's comedy, and his deliveries, he's got it down. It's the Jumanji kind of timing with his jokes and stuff like that. He's good in it. It's not a good movie. It's pretty ridiculous.
It's based off a ride, right?
Yeah.
So was like Pirates of the Caribbean, and look what they did with that, though. So that argument to me doesn't really hold water. It's kind of it's watchable. It's good to look at. It has some cool settings, but overall, I don't know. I wasn't really impressed with it too much. But if you like The Rock, but yeah, he's everywhere.
Have you guys seen The Tooth Fairy? That's
No,
the Rock
I
of the
pass on
Finals.
that one.
No, yeah.
It's horrible. No, don't worry about it. You're not missing anything. And then I think the rest of the stuff we've all been playing. Our early 2000s collection of Skyrim, Horizon, and Halo.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, we got together the other night, played a couple rounds of Halo. It was good. I mean, you guys are more the Halo fans than I, so I can't really claim any expertise on it. But I just ran around and shot people and still acclimating.
You're the Call of
from my Call.
You're playing like the new Call of Duty. I totally skipped out. I skip every other or every third like Call of Duty because there's just too many. But when a Halo comes out, it's always a big deal. I don't know. Like I know your history with Halo is more or less just you dabbled with some multiplayer, did some single player. But for like Eric and I mean, this is delivering on all fronts right now for us, and it feels good because Halo. The gameplay's always been pretty good and all that stuff, and the stories are pretty good, but nothing too game changing or, whatever to really make the franchise relevant for like the mass audience. So it's nice that they put it back in the oven for a little bit and they came out. So it's kind of like seeing a dynamite Star Wars movie if you're a Star Wars fan. It's just like, there you go. Like we've had some duds, we've had some good ones and stuff like that, but it feels good when one delivers. And right now it's just a multiplayer that we played, and
They are so smart for putting this out for free. Like everybody's playing it right now.
It's weird.
It's like you can play it anywhere. You can play it on Steam, you can play it on Xbox, and it's all cross play with everything. Like it's just so smart of them to do that. And it's almost like a marketing piece for the campaign because you get in there, play some multiplayer with your friends, and then that gets you more excited for the campaign that's coming out, early December. So I'm super excited for that as well. Just seeing the ways that they're changing up the formula a little bit. And like we were saying, this one feels like that experience you had back in the day playing Halo 1, but it has all those modern shooter sensibilities. But like just the time to kill and everything is so much longer in Halo that it becomes more strategic, which I think is why I like Halo so much over something like Call of Duty, because
that's what's getting me.
Yeah,
it's the running and dying because I suck at Halo. There's a certain rhythm to the combat where like you can get through like half a clip of your assault rifle and a gun butt to put somebody down, and usually you can get like two people with a clip, and if you're quick enough, but the time to kill definitely throws you off if you get there and you're not getting those kills, like that'll.
But Dave, see, what's interesting is I think once it clicks for you, I think you're going to fall in love with it because you like fighters, right? And fighting games is like one against the other, and you learn the moves, you learn the timing, you learn the combos. With Halo, there are so many combos that you can pull off because you'll know, all right, I missed him a few of those shots I missed. So I know that when I empty this clip, it's not going to be enough. I can either, based on his distance, pull out his pistol, go for the head.
yes,
Or I can run at him and slide and try to go for the punch, So it's what I like about that. And then when you throw in other guns like needlers and shotguns and plasma grenades and all that stuff, I think that's what Eric means by strategic is like with Call of Duty, if I run down a hallway and I run left, but the guy's to the right, I get shot from behind. It's just like who sees whoever first kind of has totally the upper hand to the point where like you're done in like 3 bullets, which is fine. It's more realistic. But with Halo, because of the shields, you have a chance to turn around. So that guy who opened fire on you, he knows that like, all right, I've depleted half of his shields, but he still has enough where he can do some nasty moves and turn this thing around. So I gotta back up, jump, run at him, switch weapons, whatever, and I think when you put together the combos, your own combos, because everybody has their own style, your own guns, there's so many guns. I think that's the little moments that everybody has on the battlefield with Halo is what's awesome. And it just feels good to see everybody doing it.
it's like you're doing a dance with like your enemy. Like these firefights can last up to like 30 seconds sometimes, Like you're both just hopping around Or like you said, Brandon, there's visual indicators. You know when you got their shields down, so you can go up and melee them, and that's an instant kill. Or you can back away and throw a grenade, or just run away if you think you can't win the fight. Like, there's so many different options that you can do with Halo over Call of Duty. Like, it's not all about just getting headshots. Like, that is satisfying if you're just sniping people in Halo, but like, that's not what it's about for me.
But
it's getting in the
you
nitty-gritty.
and I definitely having more fun with it than Dave, just because we have this relationship with Halo in our gaming, I don't know, history or whatever. But
that's a good way to explain it, though. The time to kill, or the shields do present a different balance, it's a learning curve for sure.
Yeah,
that and like learning the maps, because you have guns on the map rather than loadouts. And Call of Duty, you start with the same gun every time. Here, you gotta either pick up a gun or just, at certain jump points, there are usually certain guns just sitting there waiting for you. But
I do really like that you mentioned that, because everybody starts on the same playing field. They start evenly with the same loadout, and then you have to pick up the guns. You have to know where they are, and you can pick and choose which ones that you want to pick up. So that just plays more into like the strategic nature of Halo. It's really
I mean,
really fun.
That's why I like Overwatch, man. It's a shooter, but it has so many levels of strategy in there, because like some characters had less health than others, some had melee, some could fly, and Halo
that was
just
like
is
chess.
Yeah,
Overwatch is like a chess match, basically, where you got gives and takes and checks and balances, and yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So anything else that you were getting into?
No, I mean we've all been playing Skyrim. I only played a little bit of Horizon, but Skyrim is a lot more Skyrim.
Hey, that Horizon that we played though, we played. That was fun, man.
Those modes are fun
Horizon.
once we actually were able to get in.
Yeah, now that they kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Yeah, but when we were in that one area where it was like, you said it was like the Mario game on the Wii U, where one person's it, and he has to catch everybody, and then when he hits them, it's like infected.
Infected, yeah.
That was good. And then the other one was...
There's some capture the flag in there, like...
all these car modes, like party game car modes, but with Forza, I don't know. It was really fun,
Those
actually.
were fun.
And it was a big team, too, so there was a lot of people doing this, and it was a lot of fun. On top of just what it's really made for, which is all the cool-ass racing you can do in the big Mexico map, but...
Yeah, I love all those dumb modes. And Halo, too. Like, there's so many different dumb modes, and you can, like, customize it any way you want to, like, tweak all the different physics and everything. It's really cool.
Can we talk about how Xbox has to be having a moment right now, because
dude, yeah,
Forza like they're exclusives delivered, right? So they're big exclusives like Forza and Halo just delivered, but they also have like Xbox Cloud going on, and like now on my Xbox One X, I can just play next gen games without download. It's just crazy all the things they're doing. And then they had that thing that we were looking at earlier today, where you can virtually on your phone go to this link. Go to Xbox's cloud, like on your phone, through the browser, and you can have like a little avatar and just kind of walk around and see the museum of Xbox 360.
Yeah, that was super cool.
One X, and then your own personal thing where it shows all your history. And Dave and I can see that our two sons have dominated the hours on our,
it's brutal.
our Xbox this year with
what was it? Plants vs. Zombies, Battle for Neighborville.
Yeah, dude.
But
it's cool. You can just see your own personal museum in a virtual space, and I thought it was really cool.
So I was just
good for Xbox.
I tried to look at my own right before this, and apparently I haven't played enough Xbox for it to give me like my own personal museum type thing.
Right.
Which was kind of annoying. I mean, I've only been like actually playing Xbox for I don't know a couple years now, and it's still not my main console, but. I was a little disappointed that I didn't get to see it.
It knows you've disrespected it, and it's giving you nothing in return.
I bought their new next-gen console. What more do you want from me?
More.
Well, if Xbox keeps
what about you?
lining up the exclusives, I'll be playing a lot more Xbox for sure.
Yeah. The Bethesda stuff.
Yeah, for me, it's been Forza, it's been Skyrim, and it's been Halo. We already talked about that pretty much. Do you guys watch the British Baking Show at all?
I do
Love
not.
it.
Dude, it's
a
so
big-
good.
When we have nothing else to watch, that's what we do.
Dude, that's our like show that we watch in bed, like when we're about to go to sleep. We'll like put that on and just watch a couple
What's it on?
episodes of that, fall asleep. It's on Netflix.
Netflix.
Is it British people
It's also
baking?
on Netflix Kids, which is hilarious.
Yep, it's exactly what it sounds like, a British baking competition.
Okay.
But the people who bake are not professionals. They do it. This is like their hobby.
Mm-hmm.
So they're but just they're amateurs.
Yeah, they still blow us out of the water. It's not like,
Dude, some of the shit they do is amazing.
well,
Yeah, that's kind of our little side show that we're always kind of watching. Like I don't know, a couple of years ago, we just binged through the entire series, and we've been keeping
We did too, man.
keeping up with it ever since. So
It's great.
that's always good. It's an easy watch, something nice to put on when you're just relaxing. But that's pretty much all I had. What about you, Brandon?
Other than working on more of the It Takes Two with my son Jack, who's 7, we were just having an amazing time working on that game, and I love that game. But what I did watch? My 3-year-old woke up the other day over the weekend, and he wanted to watch Chewie. He's like, all right. He's like, so you want to watch some Star Wars? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, anything else? In Stormtroopers. And I'm like, yeah. Anything else? In The Emperor. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what you need to watch. So we watched Return of the Jedi.
oh, nice.
And whenever I go back to watch the old trilogy, I always either pick A New Hope or I pick Empire Strikes Back. Those are the two I always go to, because my personal favorite is A New Hope.
Mm-hmm.
But I also recognize that the Empire Strikes Back is probably the best Star Wars movie out of everything they've ever done. But Return of the Jedi, man, I haven't seen it in a while, and I was just watching. I'm like, man, this has everything in the first 30 minutes as far as characters. Like every major legacy character you can think of is shown little by little. Kind of like when Force Awakens, when people are like, every character gets revealed every 5 minutes. Well, go back and watch Return of the Jedi, and you're like, and there's that character, and then there's that
all
character,
hanging out in
and
Jabba's
there's that
palace.
character.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody, and it just keeps going. But it is so good. It is really good. I don't know why I don't look back at it as good as like the others, but it really is a good closing piece of that trilogy. So
Yeah, it's great.
I don't know. That's it. I just wanted to just mention that Return of the Jedi is really good. And yes, it has Ewoks, but if you watch that with kids, it is really good. And it has a lot of Chewbacca. Oh, hi, little guy. We're talking about you. What are you doing down here? What? You want an apple? Okay, well, we're wrapping up, actually, so that's good timing. So, yeah, Ryan must have knew what I was talking about. All right, I'm going to go get him an apple.
That was perfect.
Yeah, and hey, we're doing it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it.
And then we'll come back, and we're going to be talking about Memento.
Yes.
So I'm very excited. So let's
go get an apple.
take a break, and then I'll go get an apple. We have returned, and we're going to be talking about the movie Memento, which was made by Christopher Nolan back in 2001. Is that what we said? 2001?
Yep. March 16th, 2001 was released in the United States. It was actually released in Venice in September 5th, 2000. So it's kind of weird. A different release there.
Okay.
But in the United States, it was, 2001.
And this was written before, I mean, obviously it was written before. Usually somebody writes something and then they make the movie. But I'm just saying, like, his brother, Jonathan Nolan, wrote this. Well, Eric, I think you know this, but do you mind just kind of sharing quickly the background of the story, maybe, kind of, and lead us into the plot, and then just go over the plot and just kind of, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. So it was like you said, it was based on a pitch by Nolan's brother Jonathan, who wrote the 2001 story Memento Mori from the concept. And Nolan liked it so much that he wanted to make it into a movie. And it's technically not billed as an adaptation because the film was released before the short story. So I thought that was interesting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's cool.
So the film was released, and then shortly after, the short story was published.
There's
I thought that was
there's a story about it, how they went on a car trip with each other and they were just discussing projects or whatever back in when they were 20 years old or whatever. And obviously Jonathan had already come up with it, and then Christopher realized that it was such a fucking awesome idea. I'm gonna make this into a movie.
Yes, sir. If we want to just do a quick synopsis of the plot. We got our main character, Leonard Shelby, played by Guy Pearce. He suffers from anterograde amnesia, or short-term memory loss. And he basically forgets everything between approximately 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, he'll kind of just forget what he was doing or where he is. Everything kind of
I'll say
resets
15
for
to
him.
30, because
It's
some scenes in this
in that
movie
range.
yeah.
Right.
It depends how long you keep his focus, kind of.
Yeah, that's true too.
It just takes slamming a car door is enough to distract this guy.
Well, that's why he was saying he always likes to look at people's faces and looks people in the eyes when he's talking to them, so that it helps him to recognize their face and remember a little bit who they are during that.
Well, he's good at reading
sequence.
people. That was always his
his
skill. Yeah,
exactly. So basically, he's searching for the people who attacked him and his wife. They raped and murdered his wife, or so we think in the beginning. He's basically doing this whole investigation, and he has this whole system of Polaroids that he uses to keep track of all the information that he can't remember. And he also has a bunch of tattoos all over his body, which I thought was a really
permanent
cool concept
notes
as well. Exactly. Yeah, he has John G. raped and murdered your wife right across his chest there, so he never forgets it.
and he has him and the tattoo artist have such a good eye for typography. So I just gotta say,
I noticed that.
real good
they did
font
a really
work.
good job. Yes, it was really good.
And for him doing his own self tattoos with a ghetto jail pen needle there, he does some pretty good work. So yeah, that's basically really it. We just kind of follow him investigating who killed his wife, and he's meeting all these people. The film is told in a non-linear narrative. So basically it's reverse chronological order. Well, there's two parts. We can get into a little bit of the structure of the film here. So you have the black and white scenes, which are told chronologically, and they're told from an outside perspective. And then you have the colored scenes, which are in reverse chronological order, which are basically everything from Leonard's perspective.
I would say all of it's Leonard's perspective. The black and white is him on a phone call, and it takes place before all the events that happen
Right.
during the colored scenes, which is we see the final scene, which is all right. So we're getting into spoiler territory at this point. So if you haven't seen this movie, it's been out for a while.
Why are you
It's
listening
really
to
good.
this?
And yeah,
It's just fantastic. Go now.
and it's a simple story. If you think about it, if you saw this in chronological order, it would be okay, whatever, kind of.
It would be okay, but not. The editing is everything.
Yeah.
The way the scenes are figured out play very well into this gimmick. I'll call it a gimmick. This little hook of going backwards. And it makes sense to go backwards because the main character Leonard, is suffering from short-term memory, and it's interesting because have you ever heard of such a thing? No. Have you ever met somebody with this? No. Or probably not. And the characters in the movie, when they bump into him, they're all. I like this little touch where they're just Like it's just
fades.
weird, man. Like you
If
know,
we talk for too long,
like yeah,
I'll
you
forget
told
how we
me about
started.
this,
Next
but
time
it's
I
just
see
you
you,
don't
I'm not gonna
remember
this
me at
conversation.
all.
I don't even know if I've met you before. So if I seem a little strange or rude or something, I've told you this before, haven't I?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to mess with you, but it's so weird. You don't remember me at all.
No,
We've talked a bunch of times.
I'm sure we have.
And everybody, even Natalie, even after they have sex and they kind of forgive it, she does a forgive and forget more or less with her story with him, but she's like, I think you'll remember me, and he's like, I cannot remember.
So next time you see me, will you remember me? I think you will.
That's the best part, though, is that like, as somebody watching the movie, you get that puts you at the same disadvantage that he's at as he's going through his regular life. So
Right, and I love feeling like the character.
it builds up
as
to a
viewer.
crescendo that leads into the scene that you just skipped out of, really. So like it leaves you confused at the, whenever you're jumping back into it, kind of like I'm assuming he feels all the time. But whenever a scene starts, it's like you're a little bit lost, you're a little bit confused, and then it builds up to the end of the last scene, which kind of recently, you're like, oh, that's why things are happening. This is, gives things a whole, like, as you get deeper and deeper in the movie, things start to have bigger ramifications where you're like, a small decision can have like huge effects further down the line because of something you may have written down that you may have made a rash decision on or something like that. But listening to Christopher Nolan just explain the movie, and me and Eric were just watching the same video of like an interview with him where he draws the timeline out as like a hairpin, so it's like a real long U, and he shows, it's just insane the thought that went into
go on
this.
YouTube and you can see this. He's got a little blackboard behind him. He kind of just shows how he kind of set it up, and it is really cool. I mean, all right, I think to keep us all aligned, I think we need to have a conversation about what the story actually is, though, so that we can appreciate all the little things that, like the scenes and the editing and the characters and stuff like that. But like, you kind of gave us the premise of the film, but the plot is really Leonard is with Teddy, and Teddy uses Leonard, right? Because Teddy is this cop, so he claims. And you don't really know who to trust, but he claims that he was the cop that was assigned to his case, and the guy got away, and he felt bad for Lenny's condition, and Lenny, even though he has short-term memory, this is where it gets a little bit weird, but the death of his wife, which was caused by him constantly poking her instead of her asking for her injections for her diabetes.
Well,
or
we don't
like that,
know
right?
that for sure. Like everything is everything is left up to interpretation at the end, from my perspective,
Okay.
anyways. As
I
someone
struggle-
watching it for the first time, like there's a lot of questions like, is his wife actually dead? Was fucking Sammy Jenkins actually a real person, or was he projecting himself onto
Sammy
this character?
Jenkins? Yeah.
Right, exactly. So there's all these questions of whether, like, I mean, this plays into the fact that Leonard doesn't even know what's true.
Right, that's who you were. I mean, there's some truth
Right.
to what Teddy says, but anyways, I mean, Teddy is using this guy to take out other bad guys, but he's trying to make some scratch. He's trying to make some money off of these, and he's just using this Lenny guy which is weird because his job in his normal life before this condition and this new life he's living, but before that happened, before the brain injury, he was
Insurance claim investigator.
yeah, but today in the movie, rather, in those terms, like he's got like tricks with like the credit card, the door, and he knows people to look through the light, and he like kicks the door, and he knows how to like take a punch and knock somebody out, and I don't know, who is this guy? Like, did he have some training? So I there's a lot of, it's interesting to just to see the different kind of person he's become. But this Teddy guy, we don't know, but we do know that he's a cop. He seems to be a cop. He claims he is. We don't really see any proof
because he's involved with like drug deals and stuff and some kind of shady shit.
I honestly,
who knows, right?
By the
he
end,
shows a badge a couple times.
Questioning. Yeah.
But he flashes it so quick, and who does he flash it to?
We didn't really see it like full on,
no
like,
official.
Yeah,
so we just take his word for it. But he's in this area, and he's basically being used to take out some guy who has the same initials as the guy he's hunting down that he thinks killed his wife. Now, even though he's already, so we say, I mean, we have to believe Teddy, but he killed the guy who, I don't know, did at least try to kill his wife and did the brain damage to him. And he got that justice off the books with Teddy's help, but because he can't remember.
Because we see the Polaroid of that with him with a smile.
Yeah.
And
so he says,
well, that's the thing about this movie.
He's
we don't
being
know.
taken advantage of constantly.
We don't know. Like, do we trust everything that Teddy told him? I don't, personally, after watching it from, I don't, like, when it all converges at the end, Teddy kind of lays it all out there for him, but I don't 100% know if Teddy's telling him the entire truth or
but he could, because he'll forget. So that's the thing. Like, Teddy also knows, like, he knows that this guy can't remember shit. So I could say the real thing, or I can make it up to calm you down. I mean,
I think that's the fun of this movie, is trying to deduce, like, what is real, what is fact, what is what is all in Leonard's head. Which all, I mean, from the, like you said, from the perspective of this movie, the entire everything that we see is from Leonard's perspective, and everything we see is in his head. So, like, we get into this unreliable narrator territory throughout the whole movie, where, like, we don't know, like, what is true, what's fake. Obviously, Leonard is making up his own facts for his own motivations, like we see at the end. I know we're skipping around a lot, but we see at the end that Leonard kind of made up this whole case in his head to give himself purpose, because he has nothing else in his life.
Well, that's why I was fumbling trying to set up from the beginning, because we didn't even know it's true, because he's even in on, like, Leonard is in on making up this new life, because he's like, you know what? I don't know why he even does this, but he talks about, halfway into the movie at some point, he talks about the story of Sammy, who... The big thing, the big catalyst for him on why he didn't believe that Sammy was telling the truth, or it's in his head, or somehow he's a fraud, is because you should still be able to learn through, like, pain,
through repetition,
through repetition,
Instinct.
And, like, instinct, exactly. And the test that he had, no matter what, your body, even though your brain might not, your body at some level should know, because of instinct, don't touch this thing because it's going to shock you. And it's like, that's his brain knowing what's going on, and he's failing on purpose, because he thinks, if I don't know, he's not thinking like the way they're thinking. So that's the way he's able to expose Sammy and say, you're a fraud. Now, we don't know if Sammy's real. There's that whole quick cut near the end of the movie where somebody walks by.
Yes,
and you
I was
see
going to bring that up.
And, like, Sammy was only, like, it's weird though, because Sammy was married throughout the film. We think that Sammy is this guy who was a fraud, and
basically has the same condition that Leonard has as well. We didn't mention that.
Right. But then Teddy's like, no, he was never married. It was your wife going there to talk to you. That even doesn't make sense. He just says that, but, like, why would she go there to talk to him about what? Like, why would, if he has short-term memory, why would he be able to how could he do his job? And then later on, and I know we're skipping all over the place, but, like, this is what the movie does. It, like, unravels like crazy. And at the end, you even see a scene where when literally at the final scene, when Lenny's driving down the road and he's talking to himself, he's talking to himself the whole time, but he's talking about, I could create a new whatever. I can just do all this stuff. I can get a new tattoo with a new fake truth and tattoo on my body. But he has all these tattoos on his body, and his wife's supposed to be dead. But we see her head resting on his chest, so she's alive, and he's got all the tattoos. And I paused it, and I was looking at it, and it was everything about the case that he's trying to hunt down. So I don't know, man. Like,
That's
I have no
it's-
idea what's real and what's not real.
Yep.
Because that could be you see a lot of things switch too, and when he stays at Natalie's, you can see like some repetition there. I don't know. It's the way that you tell it. Like you learn more about the people as you're going backwards through it, which is kind of crazy too. The whole Natalie angle, where like when you first meet her, you don't know. I don't know. You think she has the best intentions, and then as you keep jumping backwards, you find out more about her, and you find out that she's really just a complete asshole. Like
Everyone in this movie is trying to manipulate Leonard for their own benefit.
yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, the way they handled Natalie was really good. Because like you think you can trust her. All right, she's good because the guy at the motel straight up or whatever like was just like, yeah, well, we're booking you twice because we know you can't
because you're going by what's written on the Polaroid cards because you know just as much as he does.
Yep, exactly.
But
Yeah.
as you go backwards, you find out that everything that's written down isn't exactly true. It was what he thought was true in those 15 minutes, basically.
Right.
And then everything resets.
How does he know to check his Polaroids, though? Like, how does he have the instinct to know that I have a map, I have Polaroids?
I don't know.
I think
he just has tattoos.
he just has everything in his pockets, like, and he just checks his pockets constantly, and he pulls out the Polaroids. But yeah,
So that's repetition then,
Right.
right? He has the condition because he's at least learning through repetition.
You'll get this flash of like he'll see like something on his arm and then pull down his sleeve, like he did forget the tattoos were there, but then he just like saw a flash of it, and then he'll look at it, or like he'll have like just his boxers on, and I'll see his tattoos on his thighs and stuff. So it's just I don't know. There's a lot of things like that. Like how does he know? Like how does he even know he has this condition?
I mean, the reality is though he was used by Teddy. And he takes out that Jimmy guy, I think, and he gets killed. Lenny kills him, and he puts on his clothes. For some reason, he's like,
Which was weird.
"Just take off your clothes." Why?
Dude,
Because
yeah.
I want blood to get on it. And then, but then he like kind of forgets. He's like, I don't know. So he wears that guy's clothes, and
I
then
think
he
that's
goes
just part
to
of
Natalie's
creating
bar.
this whole new
Was it-
like reality for himself. You know, he's constantly doing this. He's just
It
constantly
takes a picture of his car and he
Right.
writes "my car" on his note.
exactly.
Which you're wondering, why is Teddy like, what the fuck are you doing with this car? Like half an hour earlier in the movie from a previous jump, and then you realize, oh, that's why he's asking him those exact questions. There's a lot of it keeps looping back in on itself, which is, I don't know, keeps answering its own riddles, which makes it super, super fucking cool to watch.
So Eric, we haven't even asked, but Dave and I have seen this movie. Did you like this movie?
I did like it. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't like blown away, I should say, but I did like it. I think it's a great film. And the way that it's structured and shot and edited, I think is, some of Nolan's best work, but, I thought it was good. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. Like I said, I think it's good, but I don't think it's like amazing.
It's a 20-year-old movie. It's a smaller flick. It's a Christopher Nolan flick.
I mean, what else?
But yeah, like
he's put out Inception since, like, you've seen Inception before.
Yep. I've seen
So
Inception. I think, because Nolan always has that classic twist in his movies.
He's got like crepe.
He likes his
use of
layers.
Time, though.
He does like
Yeah.
like I said, I think it's genius the way this film is structured. I think it's super unique. I haven't seen anything like this film before. Like
There is nothing like this film.
No, and that is to its credit.
There's some movies, but yeah, this is definitely like the whole bit going backwards. I think may have done it maybe in a short film, but is this a noir, Dave?
I don't think so, because it's got like color and stuff in it.
Yeah,
but
I forget some of the rules, but being the
investigation
detective,
kind of, yeah.
in the way he talks, the monotone kind of voice where he talks, exposition
internal-
galore and
internal dialogue.
Yeah.
Like, why is this guy chasing, or am I chasing this guy? What's going on right now? And then he turns the corner and the guy shoots at him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm being chased. Like,
He's
that kind of
chasing
shit.
me. Yeah.
Okay, so what am I doing? Oh, I'm chasing this guy. No, he's chasing me.
Yeah. The
Freaking great.
comedy in this is actually pretty good. The whole waking up in the bathroom or realizing is like holding a bottle of wine. It's like, I don't feel drunk.
And then the funny, like, and what does he do? He takes a shower, and the guy comes like back to his own apartment, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on here?" And then, like, ends up beating the shit out
Starts
of him.
wrestling, naked wrestling in the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's just his first reaction was he's just sitting in a bathroom with a bottle of booze, and he just take a fucking shower.
Take a shower.
Oh.
I know. There's some things that he does that are a bit odd. I think this movie takes place in the 90s, even though it was filmed in like the early 2000s, because the vehicles, the style,
No cell phones.
there's no phone. Yeah, everything's like a hardwired telephone, and also Lenny looks like the lead singer of Stone Temple Pilots a little bit in this movie.
He does
That
not.
hair.
Scott Weiland. Don't talk about him like he's got like a military flat top. Scott Weiland was much
What?
cooler than that. And that dirty stash. All I see is what's his face from the
Oh,
Matrix.
you're talking about Teddy?
Teddy, yeah.
Oh yeah, Teddy. So Teddy's my favorite
Oh,
character in this film.
You're talking about Guy. Guy looks like
Yeah, the main character looks like the lead singer of STP.
I guess I could see that a little bit. All right.
The
Could be a
bleached
little.
hair coming back a little bit, but Teddy, no, the guy from Sopranos.
You're talking
and
about Teddy.
no,
Teddy looks like it. No.
yeah, he's really good. Lenny, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I like how he's like always cracking good jokes, little one-liners, and he's just always around. At one point, I was like, is he not even real? I know he gets shot in the beginning of this film, but I mean, is he a figment of his imagination? Because no, it's not. But like when he comes out of Natalie's house, Lenny gets out of Natalie's house, gets in the car. Teddy's just in there, just there, always around. And I don't know, this guy is creepy. He's always
He's an undercover cop.
watching
He's
Lenny.
got nothing else to do except fuck with Lenny. He's sliding notes under his door and calling him on the phone. And I'm assuming that is who it was on the phone in the black and white.
Oh,
scenes,
yeah.
was Teddy.
Yes.
It had to be, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, he's the only one that really knows what's going on, so we believe. And I think he's straight up using him, and this is his way of manipulating him.
And he slid the photo under the door of him, like the Polaroid of him smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one who supposedly took that photo.
Yeah. So, how do you guys feel about the character of Natalie?
I don't like her. I don't.
Well, you liked her at first, but then as time
Well,
rewound,
I mean,
Weird.
I didn't love. I don't know. There's something about Carrie-Anne Moss's performance that I didn't love overall.
Some scenes are better than others. Some
Yeah.
scenes her acting is stiff, and other ones were good. But yeah, I
it's
noticed
almost
that.
like you said. Yeah, it's almost too like over the top. Like I know she's trying to like manipulate Leonard into getting to do what she wants, but like in the beginning with the scene in the bar, like where she's just, I don't know, treating him like complete garbage for no reason was kind of weird to me.
No, you know why?
Why?
because he
She's-
showed up and
her boyfriend's clothes,
in his
That's
car.
right. Okay, I forgot
and
about that
she
part.
knows that. Okay, this guy
See, that makes more
killed
sense
my
now.
boyfriend. I mean, like she knows he's like a criminal, but so that's why she does the whole spit thing.
Okay,
But then she
well-
starts taking sympathy because like she knows that this guy is
that makes
petty. So that's
that
why
makes her character even more confusing to me. I don't know.
Right. No, that's why like her performance isn't great when she does the whole betrayal and kind of takes advantage of him and makes up the whole story about like she needs to shake off Dodd, right? So what does she do? She makes up this whole fake scene because she knows you're gonna forget, and she's really mean to him. And
That
then,
is a pivotal moment in the movie right there.
Write it down.
'Cause she steals all the pens.
Concentrate, concentrate, concentrate. Keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. Come on, I gotta find a pen. I gotta find a pen. I'll write this down. Write this down. Exactly what happened. I gotta write down exactly what happened.
I did like that scene a lot when, she stole all the pens, stuff in her purse, and he was like frantically looking for a pen, and he was trying to keep his eyes on her in the car so he wouldn't forget. And then, the car door slams, and then it's all of a sudden like he just completely forgets what just happened, and she comes in and does this whole sob story.
He usually does have a pen on him in his pocket, which was kind of weird. But
yeah, that's true too. Like he always has that Sharpie that he's writing down.
I must have
tip
forgot.
Sharpie.
Lenny, it's funny because that's the truth. He killed Jimmy. The whole scene with Natalie, that's true.
Yep.
He, the stuff with Teddy is true. Like we know everything that we see is what happened, but everything outside of that, we don't know what to believe. And Lenny even says this early on. He says that memories are unreliable without context. We need facts. But he also understands that facts can be inaccurate. Mm-hmm. And it's said early in the movie, and it's so true because at the end, we see he makes up his own facts.
Yep.
And everything else is filled in without context. We have no idea if Teddy is saying the truth at all. And that really just makes everything kind of, it's just kind of sad. It's this eternal doom that Lenny is stuck in where he just can't break free because he's just constantly being used by, he killed Teddy now, so maybe he's more free?
The one weird thing
He's
I thought
gonna-
is like he tattooed the license plate number on himself. Like that's pretty specific. Like the
Yeah.
the more facts you find and the more specific you get, the harder it is to keep repeating the same loop
so
of
like
finding somebody.
after that lead ends, which it does when he kills Teddy, like what's next after that? Like obviously he's gonna make up his something else for him to follow. But
He gets his memory back and hilarity ensues. Of course.
let's get the sequel to Memento.
There's a character, we don't know his name, but he's like halfway into the movie, and he is staying at room 9. And I feel bad for this guy because somebody knocked on his door.
Dude,
And
that was great.
When he went to open it, Lenny is there because he does the whole peephole trick, and you see somebody, and he did the credit card thing to unlock it, and then he just waits for the person to peep through the peephole, and he kicks the door, knocks down this guy, and he realizes it wasn't room 9, it was room 6.
That guy didn't know what hit him.
I was just like, could you imagine that happening?
Yeah.
Go to open up the door and you get knocked out. He's just like, sorry, and leaves. It's pretty good.
Oh, one thing I was thinking about when I tried to watch this with the wife. I don't know if you guys did that.
Oh, years ago. Yeah, not recently.
I didn't
tried-
this
she
time,
was-
but I want her to watch it because I think she would like it.
She
Okay,
gave me
cool.
I remember this movie. This movie was great, blah, 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 blah. It reminds me of why I end up watching all like the flashier, action-y popcorn movies and crap like that. Is because she falls asleep a half hour into a fantastic movie every single time. It never fails.
That's my wife too. Yep.
I was like, oh. So I ended up watching the last 75% of it by myself, but still fantastic.
I mean, she saw the end. Ba-dum-dum-ba-dum-bum.
Yeah, 'cause the ending starts at the beginning. Yep.
I didn't
That
even
is-
notice. Is there any music in this movie? Really? Is it like all orchestral?
It's just like background, yeah. Like
because I didn't really
orchestral
notice
stuff.
anything.
Ambient music, yeah. Yep.
No, this movie does not deliver on music, but it does deliver
No.
on
After Whiplash, no.
like he has a monologue. Like he has that Carrie Ann Moss. Like she has her head just sitting on his chest, and he is just talking to himself for like a solid minute and a half. You know, where he says the whole like, "How am I supposed to heal if I can't feel time?" kind of thing. He just is constantly talking. He's talking about remembering his wife. So there's a monologue there. There's a lot of cool quotes. There's some funny ones. There's there's the characters.
A lot of the lines were improvised too by Guy Pearce, which I thought was cool. Like
Really?
a lot of the especially the lines on the black and white scenes. A lot of those were improvised by Guy Pearce. He actually had
some of his best acting was in that. I thought he was really good. Could you imagine like holding a fucking phone with somebody's camera in your face and having to like, I thought that I felt tense during those scenes because I'm like, who's he talking to?
He actually had a decent amount of influence over some of the stuff in the movie. So if you noticed, like
it was supposed to be Brad Pitt that was supposed to do the character.
Yeah,
he
Brad Pitt
too busy.
He said he expressed interest in it. But the funny thing is, Alec Baldwin was Nolan's first choice for Leonard,
Ew.
which I thought was
not
weird.
about
I don't
as
know
good.
about that.
Hey, I like me some Alec Baldwin. So
Oh, I really love little Alec, but I just can't. I can't picture him in the same role after that,
true.
or after seeing Guy. That is.
After Teddy tells Leonard not to trust Natalie, he writes it on the picture, on Natalie's picture, and he actually writes it in cursive, which is the only writing in cursive that Leonard ever does throughout the entire movie, so that I think that was a way for him to remember that something's weird about this, and that's why he crosses it out later. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Like he crosses it out.
I knew he crossed
after
it
the
out,
fact,
but I didn't know that
he writes
was
it in cursive.
Yeah. See,
And that was
so-
actually Guy Pearce's
that's cool.
idea as well. So that was pretty cool.
No shit. Okay. This movie's definitely good. It rewards the viewer to watch it multiple times. So I've seen this movie 5, 10, at 20. I've seen it a lot.
I do want to watch it again because I can see how it would be better on a second watch, because you know what's coming. In the beginning, like you said, the viewer is made to feel like Leonard, where you don't know what's going on. You're meeting these characters that he has already met before, but he doesn't know if he's met them before. And like the reverse chronological order is very effective, especially on your first watch. But I think you would get more out of it on subsequent watches just because you know what's coming. And it gives you time to notice more things throughout the movie. So I'm looking forward to watching it again, because I think now that I know what to expect, I can pay attention a little more closely to the details.
There is on the DVD, the limited edition DVD that they put out, you can unlock the chronological order viewing on disc 2, but you have to solve an interactive puzzle consisting of memory-based questions in order to unlock it, which
That's really funny.
That's a fucking great idea.
That is really cool.
Yeah, that's really good. That's I remember when this movie came out, and we watched it in college, and I went to the website, and the website in my memory, this is weird. I'd have to like kind of check this to see what is true or not. But the website was about. It had the trailer, but then the rest of it was about Lenny being in the psych ward and him getting out. And I want to say, I could be wrong, and I'd have to check this out, but the website was like, him and his wife survived the incident, and he's committed to a psych ward, and he escapes the psych ward, and he becomes this creature that we see in the movie, basically, where he's just being used, killing him. I could be wrong, but the movie, the website was just notes and scribble and stuff like that, and it was interesting. So
I mean, they do allude to that a little bit in the movie, because like you said, we see that split second of him, like with that scene with Sammy Jenkins, where it switches to him in the chair.
And
so,
when would he have fucking been there?
Right.
It must have been in the past.
It was in the past. Yep.
Probably.
Yeah,
Right.
everything.
And we know we can't trust Teddy, so I don't know. That's what makes this movie so cool. It's not only a good detective story because it's just like it's got the characters and it's got like these things, and it's not just the whole format of going backwards and forwards with the different scenes and stuff like that, but all of it together with the characters that they created and then just not knowing what to believe. And that makes so much sense because this guy is eternally locked in this 15, 30, 40 minute kind of loop where he remembers up to the incident and then that's it. And he's just stuck in this, like, where am I? No short-term memory in it. But the whole repetition stuff too, that he alludes to and talks about that, it kind of plays in because if you are aware at some level of what you're up to, then you should be okay. And here he is, meeting up with a prostitute at one point and just kind of not even sleeping with her. He just wants her to just kind of reenact the scene. Like his wife, I just want to remember her. He does that, but then he also burns her stuff, the stuff that reminds him of her. And he's done this. He says, I must have done this I must have burned hundreds of your stuff doing this before. So this is not the first time. He remembers, he has this instinct, he has this gut feeling on certain things. So he kind of destroys those things. And it's like he wants to, on some level, remove this old life. And that's why I don't know, it's weird, but like you don't know where the fuck this movie is going to go. And it ends on a very cool, it's not a cliffhanger because it's the beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that would be, but like, it's just like, what is he really doing then? And he just killed Teddy. So what is going to happen to Lenny after this? We don't know.
Find the next poor sap that gets that license plate number.
Yeah. It's just a cycle repeats itself.
They'll figure out a way to blame them,
or either that, or he'll just kind of, I mean, the other option, there's two options. He either repeats the cycle again, or he just fades into, obscurity, into his own mind, and then he gets committed to a psych ward again and lives out the days of there. Like, I feel like there's only those two options, which he, judging by his actions at the end, he's probably just going to keep repeating the cycle until he gets caught with, murdering these random people.
How many cycles do you think he's gone through too? That's the thing, is because you don't know how long he's been repeating this cycle with or without Teddy, I guess. If Teddy is to be believed, then
if you think, exactly. If you think Teddy's telling the truth, then this is like the second one, because because Teddy just kind of says that it was just random junkies that came in and invaded your house, and we found him and you killed him. And then he's kind of on the second journey with him. So I guess this would be the second loop.
I feel like a year or so has gone by. I'm looking at the tattoo. Right. The tattoo ink would start fading after a certain point, right? So we know it's not too long. Everything's pretty fresh looking on him. Mm-hmm. He looks like kind of like the same age, as more or less. And he would have been caught by now. I mean, right. He can't be doing this for 10 fucking years, and somehow he would fuck up. He would just, come on, every 15, 30 minutes, he's in this loop.
That's also
true. Driving around in a murdered person's car, wearing their clothes.
That was another area where you kind of had to suspend your disbelief. Like, how is he getting away with all these things that he's doing? And like, how is he keeping himself so organized, Brandon, like you mentioned earlier? How does he know that he has to look at these photographs so he can remember? I feel like it's just a plot device.
It's like a full-time job for Teddy, though, because if he's using this guy on the side, he's got to keep tabs on this guy every half hour. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, Teddy. Like, so I would say, this is like the second or third, at most, third time he's used Lenny. He's pretty confident in his abilities too. He's like,
right
in the beginning, well, at the end, but whatever. When he's supposed to meet Jimmy, he's like, "You're not gonna go with me?" He's like, "Nah." And it's
just like
you just that confident that Lenny can survive this?
He's like a free loose son, because even if he gets caught, he's not gonna remember what's going on. Like, it's just like you're sending in a get out of jail free card, because I guess if he'd have your picture, I guess, but. Other than that, but he does show up 10 minutes behind him when he goes to meet up with Jimmy G.
Do we think that Sammy ever existed? Do we think that was all fake, Sammy and his wife? We know that his wife, well, we don't know, but Teddy says Sammy's wife didn't exist.
I don't know. I go back and forth on this. It could either be like all made up in his head, which I don't believe it's all made up in his head. I think Sammy was a real person that did have the same condition as him, but I think the details of it aren't exactly true, and he's projecting himself onto Sammy, his own experiences. That's just what I think anyways.
What a fucking, I
don't know.
For as rare as this disease is, what a fucking coincidence that he's like an insurance adjuster, and one of his main claims is this guy, and then he gets the same exact disease. That's kind of why I think that, like when Lenny says, no, Lenny doesn't say it. I don't know. Mustache Man says it at the end, that he didn't have a wife. And that Sammy was just like a con artist that he investigated, and then he just kind of puts his disease onto him in his own brain, kind of.
Yeah, like you said. Yeah, I think Sammy was a real person, but he's just projecting himself onto Sammy.
Yeah, Brandon looks confused now. I think I broke his brain.
Yeah, you just got me thinking.
That's why this movie's so good, is because it's
right.
It's an onion. You just keep peeling layers back, and you're like, oh shit, every single time.
Yeah, I literally am, as we record this, my head is spinning because now that we've been talking about this movie for just over a half an hour, it is like an onion because there's so many layers to this movie where you don't know intentions and you don't know what is true, especially when Lenny is straight up lying and we see these cuts where he's in the psych ward or he is making stuff up on the fly. But why is he doing this? Why is he good at kicking down doors, and why is he good at punching people? And like, where's this second life coming from on him?
He goes by his instincts, and his instinct as a insurance investigator person was that he could read people. So like basically he's reading people constantly, and he's using that skill that he knew that he had previously to read people to like make his notes more or less. And that, I don't know, you can see how that goes fucking ass backwards.
But he can't read people because Jimmy was innocent within reason, but Jimmy didn't really need to be killed. Natalie, he couldn't read her multiple times throughout the movie. And even from
every
wife,
15 minutes,
but his wife, like he couldn't even like kind of figure her out because he would ask her, why do you keep reading that book? You've read it like how many times? It's like after some point, like, but it's so on the nose because she just likes it, and that's it. It doesn't matter. I just like the story. I don't care if I know what's coming up next. And he's like, the whole point of a book is to not know what's coming up next.
Maybe that's why he keeps murdering people, is because he likes it. And that's kind of that's an It's a metaphor there.
It 100% is. That's where I was kind of going. We're like, if you strip away the facade of fitting into society, maybe he's a psychopath deep down inside, we don't know. But this incident created this creature, and bad people. I mean, why else would we? I don't know. It's just weird. Like, how do you even put together a case to find the guy who did this to you and your wife if you can only remember 20 minutes? How can he get a trapper keeper and start, little by little, I guess? But I think deep down inside, something inside Lenny was always there, and it was kind of violent. He's sometimes he's concerned, like when he kills Jimmy and he forgets that he killed him, and he's like, he hears a car and he's like, hey mister, I think somebody's hurt really bad. He doesn't know that he did that. And he's concerned about Dodd at one point. He's like, who did this to you? I have no idea. His initial reaction sometimes in the situation is of concern, but it ultimately is always, Lenny, you're the one that keeps kicking people's ass or killing people. So it's kind of in your nature.
That is true.
For an insurance guy.
It does all come down to violence for him. Like you were saying before with the shower scene, like he was just in the shower, and then his first instinct when someone walks in is to jump out and start beating the shit out of him for no reason. Cause he doesn't remember, like he doesn't know what's happening. He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, what did she be like? Excuse me, I am so sorry. I'm in here. I have a condition.
He doesn't know that it's his.
How does he even remember?
He doesn't know that it's not his room. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It's very weird.
Exactly.
It's almost like this movie. The more you think about it, the story keeps changing in your head what it could be. I guess that's the intention of Nolan. That's what Nolan kind of does. It's like if he wants to fuck with your brain, he's pretty good at that. This is just his earlier works. Maybe there's some sloppiness and stuff like that. We just don't notice it because he's just kind of left it open.
It's a weird trick about like how just a tiny little scotch more of information can change your entire perspective on somebody. Just knowing one tiny little fact, and like your whole perception of somebody's distorted.
Memories are unreliable without context. We need facts, and that's what he said. But then he says, I say his facts are inaccurate on purpose.
He makes up his own facts. Yeah, exactly.
So it's just this vicious cycle.
his own
He makes
facts.
a conscious decision, like without fucking up, without misremembering. He's like, no, I want to play into this murderous loop that I'm doing. Don't believe Teddy's lies, and that's kind of how the cycle repeats itself, because he willingly and decides to make a choice to fuck it. I'm doing this again. I don't know. Great movie, great fucking movie. Like they say, they don't make them like that anymore. No, they never fucking made them like this.
For a while, this was my favorite movie of all time. It was. I was like, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. And that was, 20 years ago when I was in my early 20s, and I've never seen cinema touched and edited and kind of done that before. And I enjoyed the ride so much that it really left an impression on me. And I was like, Memento and The Matrix were like it. Like, I was just so happy with these two movies for a long time for different reasons. And Carrie Ann Moss was in both of them, so good for her for being there at right place at the right time. But yeah, it was a great movie. I knew Dave, you liked it a lot.
I haven't seen it in like 15 years, but I remember like the general.
You still like it as much?
Yeah, I thought it was great because I didn't remember, a lot of the little nuances to it and some stuff like that. So I thought it was a great ride again.
And Eric, you more or less enjoyed it though for what it is, right? Like it's definitely
Summing it up for me, I enjoyed it a lot, like you said, for what it is. I think I'll enjoy it more on subsequent watches. I mean, obviously it's meant to be nonlinear and a little bit confusing. So I think that's where some of my frustrations came from, because I left with a lot of questions, which obviously is the whole point of it. But I think watching it again will help me pay closer attention to a lot of the details, because I know, I understand the structure, I know what's going on. So I'm definitely looking forward to watching it again.
Okay. Yeah. I would say this is a movie for anybody who's a fan of film. If you just want to see something maybe a little bit different, that's great. I mean, at this point, I'm assuming everybody's seen this and you just want to hear a conversation about the movie. If you haven't seen it in a while, it does hold up. I'm always nervous going back, and we did this with Die Hard, and, some movies don't hold and some do, and some age very well and all that stuff. And
where does this rank in the Nolan pantheon for you guys?
Well, I will go first with that and say my favorite movie of his is The Prestige.
I'm with you there. I love that movie.
I don't know why I love that movie. I've seen that movie like 4 or 5 times too, and I love it. It's so good. What about you, Dave? What is yours?
I'm looking at the list now, and I do have some Nolan holes.
I have a couple
Tenet
Nolan
just
holes
came out.
as well.
Tenet came out. I've been wanting to see that pretty bad. I have not seen Interstellar. That's one of my.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I forgot that was
shameful.
I forgot that was Nolan.
Really?
Love that. Was a great ass movie. We should watch that one.
One of my shames.
Okay.
But
wanna see it.
I loved Inception. The Batmans are fantastic. I don't think I've seen Insomnia, but this is up in the top tier. It's an S tier.
He even has like an early movie before this movie, Memento. I think it's black and white, where it's called Follow, maybe, but it's just about a guy following. Okay, yeah, I didn't finish it, but it was interesting for sure. I think it was like about a stalker. That's all. But yeah, what about you, Eric? Where does this fall for you for what you've seen?
It's probably in the middle-ish, upper middle, I would say. Top 5, maybe top 3. I could see it number 3. I do like The Prestige a lot, and I do like Interstellar a lot. We should do Interstellar for an episode if you guys haven't seen it, because I haven't seen it since it came out.
Well, yeah, absolutely, Dave, and I definitely need to. But Dave, have you seen The Prestige?
No.
Oh, that's another good.
God,
we should just do
Another
Nolan.
Nolan hole.
We should just do some Nolan episodes.
Fuck
'Cause
yeah.
The Prestige is
I'm
so
down.
good.
The Prestige is the result of a good story with great editing, just like this movie, where it's just like he just knows how to edit his films, or somebody knows how to edit his films, but he just understands the power of editing. And that movie, The Prestige, does very well, and it has a great twist at it at the end and all that stuff.
I'm a sucker for a movie with a great twist, I'll say.
Yeah, and that's a good one. That's M. Night Shyamalan meets like Christopher Nolan, or like whatever, but it's Christopher Nolan, and
All right.
it's a good
Add to
movie,
the
and it's
list.
got good acting. Okay, well, yeah, I think we talked enough about this movie. That was awesome. It was so cool to see that movie again.
I'm glad I watched it.
So, if you listen to this episode, you know how to get a hold of us. Just type the Nomads of Fantasy on anything at this point. I think you'll
find us
see
everywhere.
our website, our Twitter, or whatever. But just, let us know what you thought of this movie. Even if you've seen this movie, let us know what you thought after all this time. If it holds up, what were your favorite parts? What makes this movie so recommendable for you to your inner circle? And other than that, I think it's game time. And Eric is gonna Dave and I have no idea.
I hope
what
it
Eric
works.
has in store for us.
It's gonna be a surprise, but
This is an innovative podcast. We do experiment all the time, so I hope people enjoy the innovations that we bring to you guys. We try to keep things fresh here. So, by all means, Eric, if it doesn't work, they won't know because I'll figure out something in the edit. So,
perfect.
let's take a break and then we'll play a game. We have returned, and we have returned with a game, and it's a new game. So, hey, if any technical difficulties happen, let's just blame Eric because
You can
he wants to
blame me.
try something. But whatever, dude. I love that you're trying something new, man. I'm here for innovating with this medium that we call podcasting. So, by all means, man. So let's experiment. Dave and I have no idea what's going on. We did a quick little test where he played. I don't know. It sounded like a Mario coin.
Oh, it
Right?
sounded like this.
It did.
Yeah, that's what we heard. So I don't know, whatever. But yeah, please, Eric, indulge us. What are we about to play?
All right, so this game is called Stop Nomads. What's that sound? Or just what's that sound for
Classic.
short.
Oh, that is great.
So I'm gonna play you 3 video game sound effects from 5 different games. So 3 sounds each, 5 games. And you guys, it's normal rules. Buzz in with your names if you think you know the game. And that's really about it. So I'm gonna play these sound effects one by one. After I do it, you can buzz in whenever you want. And if you guys don't have an answer, I'll play the next one, and so on. So, are we ready? This is
Yeah,
gonna
I
be
love it.
interesting.
I think so.
All right. I will play the first sound effect. And I can adjust the volume levels as we go if they're too quiet or anything. So, all right, here we go. Sound effect number 1.
Dave,
Oh, yes.
do you need franchise or do you need specific game?
I need the specific game for this one.
Oh, that is shit. Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
That is correct. Dave coming out of the gate swinging.
Thank you.
That would-
Thank you.
That would be
that
the
is-
sound when you were collecting a rupee. Here are the other 2 sounds just for posterity. And the Link death sound is good.
Oh yeah. All those SNES. That one is burned into my brain permanently.
This could go quick. I wasn't expecting Dave to get that right out of the gate. So that's 1-0 to Dave. All right, Brandon, Gotta step it up.
Come on, it's only been the first one. You guess it right away.
Yeah, Brandon.
There's only 5 games. All right, here we
Dave's
go.
like, I want to play Halo.
Game number 2, sound effect number 1.
Oh, Dave.
Yes, Dave.
That is the sound of drinking a potion in Skyrim. Or picking up a potion in Skyrim.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Good job.
I was like, he's going to be, it's like, is it Oblivion or Skyrim? And as soon as you said your name, I'm like, yeah, it's fucking Skyrim.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright.
Here are the other sounds. They were pretty, I didn't want to go too difficult for this, but get your drawing your weapon sound. And your foos.
That one, the healing potion, the healing spell always drives me insane because it's got this like tinkling in your hand. I don't know if it's like too tinny or it's too trebly or something, but I always have to put my healing hand away when I'm like just walking around because
none of the other that ambient sound.
I'm with you a little bit on that.
None of the other hands like do make any noises really, except for the fire one makes like a little burning, but that one's not even really noticeable. But it's a Skyrim note.
Well, I have to step it up.
That's two. That's 2-0,
Brandon. God.
2-0, Dave. Listen, if Dave gets this next one, it's game over.
Well, we're playing them all, but
we are playing them all. Okay, this next one might be a little tougher, but maybe not. We'll see. All right, this is sound effect number 1 from game number 3.
Dave.
Yes, Dave.
That is a sound of a punch or kick landing in Street Fighter 2.
God damn it, Dave. How did you know that?
I thought that was Contra. I was like,
wow. Dave gets the 3-0 sweep. Okay, Brad.
Sound effects are so, I don't know. They're very, I don't know. It's like when you smell something and you get taken back in time, or like you hear like a song that you haven't heard in a long time and it brings you back. Like, just those little,
all right,
little sound effects.
Dave officially won.
I had nothing.
Dave officially won 3-0, but Brandon, if you can get these next 2 for redemption. Here's the other 2 sound effects for Street Fighter 2, by the way.
USSR.
That's the opposite.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh, I like this.
All right. All right. Sound effect game number 4. Sound effect number 1. Brandon is just playing for his pride here. Here we go. Ready? Do we need that again?
Yeah, please, I think.
That's a good one.
Brandon,
I don't know about this one.
I'm just gonna say Sea of Thieves.
Incorrect.
Oh, I'm trying to think of games that you throw up in. So it definitely sounds like somebody up chucking pretty hard.
Yeah.
It's a double chuck.
Let's get that one more time.
God, I'm gonna fucking gag. That is disgusting. I'll say Fable.
Incorrect.
Okay.
All right. It's getting interesting. Okay, number 2. Here we go.
Brandon,
Yes, Brandon.
Left 4 Dead.
That is correct.
Good one.
Yep. I knew you'd get that one.
Well, that game, it's all about the sound. That game uses sound like I've never experienced before because you know what monster or enemy type is up there by the sound effect. So that was a boomer.
That is a
The first
boomer.
one was a boomer.
And
Let me guess. Yeah, what's the next one?
What do you think it is, Brandon?
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be the the music that cues up when danger's about to happen.
No, I went more classic than that. Ready?
Pills here.
Yep.
Pills here.
Yep.
Oh man, I
okay.
did not play enough of that game.
That was good. Okay, Brandon's gained
what
some.
What the fuck? Why was
little bit
that
back.
in there? All right, watch me get the next one.
This one might be a little. It might be a little tougher. Easy on surface level. You'll see what I mean. I do need the specific game here, though. Okay, last game. Here we go. Sound effect number 1.
Brandon?
Oh.
Yes, Brandon.
Diablo 3.
No, but good guess.
I'm going to say the new God of War.
No, but also good guess. I considered having that one in here.
Just boy.
Boy.
So clearly, yes. Clearly some kind of chain whippy type thing.
Oh, I thought it was a potion being drank. My bad. All right. Next sound.
Okay, well, next sound. Ready?
Oh.
Brandon.
Yes, Brandon.
Castlevania.
No.
Oh, all right.
Incorrect.
It's not one of those 3D Castlevanias. All right.
Well, this one's tough because I don't know which one it is. I'm just going to say Mortal Kombat 11.
That is incorrect.
Oh, it's a Mortal Kombat game. Oh, okay.
Did you
I haven't
play the
played
last
God
sound-
of War games, so I
Play
don't.
the second sound effect again for Brandon.
The second one?
Yeah.
Fatality. Oh, okay.
It's brutality, but
Brutality.
A brutality. Oh, so Brandon. Can I say my name yet?
Sure.
Is this Mortal Kombat? Annihilation? Is that what it was called?
I don't know.
No,
There's
that is
there's
not.
11 of them.
Damn.
I'll work my way
We'll
back.
play the last one. Yeah, we'll play
All right.
the last one. Right? Ready? I mean, it's Mortal Kombat. We all know and love it.
Gami Lami Ha.
Yeah, so we know it's Mortal Kombat, so it's Scorpion.
MK10.
Oh, is that Mortal Kombat 7 Scorpion's performance?
Well, actually,
No,
in
that
Mortal
was
Kombat 8, he says, "Get over here." In Mortal Kombat 10, he says, "Get over here." I want the. Do you have a soundboard up there? I want to hear the Raiden.
No, these are just the 3 that I pulled.
Oh, I can do it for you.
I mean,
Kamehameha!
But I can do these 2 together.
You can have this one, Brandon. You can just keep guessing until. You
I
get
don't
it
know.
right.
Mortal Kombat 4.
Well, okay. Well, listen to the sound. It's high quality sound, so it must be a
All right,
more
Mortal
modern
Kombat.
one.
I don't know. I've only played like 4 of these things. I
The
don't know,
one
Mortal
that you've
Kombat-
played the most.
Aren't they all the same? It's the same fucking characters.
No.
And they just fight. What are you
How
talking about?
dare you?
Dude, you have Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, Kung Lao,
Those are the boring guys.
Sonya,
yes.
and Jax, and you
Okay,
have like 12 characters, and they fight each other in all of the games.
I'll
It's
give
the
you a
same
hint.
shit.
It's what Dave guessed, but -1.
What did he say? 11? 10. Mortal Kombat 10.
That is correct. Mortal
That was
Kombat
a torturous.
X. I'm sorry, Brandon. I'm sorry that you did not get the sound effects.
Yeah, I'm more of a music guy. I don't know. I do know my sound effects on some, but good job, Dave.
I like this
You
one.
know your sounds.
I'd do some chiptune music one of these times.
I do have a nice little soundboard going though. Like I got all these number keys hooked up, and just pop them off. So that's fun.
Start sliding those in.
Yeah, right. Well, that was fun. Yeah, maybe next time I can hook it up with some video game music. But there's actually
I would like to see you do like something like a shotgun shot, because it's like it's either you know or you don't, right? Like he knew a fucking rupee sound. I haven't played a fucking Zelda game in like 30 years. Maybe I didn't play it enough. I had no fucking clue that was Zelda, right? And I played those games, but if you do the shotgun shot, like is it Half-Life? Is it Call of Duty? Was it PUBG? Like there's so many. It would be really cool to like kind of hear a weapon or a sound that's like in other games, but
Yeah, this
you know,
was
which
our
one specifically. Yeah, I
was our
didn't stand a
test
chance,
run.
Dave.
this was our test run, so I didn't want to make it too hard. And if we do it next
I'm
time,
impressed.
I'll make it a little bit harder.
Well, I don't know if it's no. I think it was hard enough. I think Dave just knows his shit when it comes to sound. I was like, he knew specifically that was Skyrim. I was like, is it Skyrim? Is it Oblivion? Boom, he already knows. That was good.
Years and years of
Congratulations.
repetition. Learn through repetition, just like Memento.
Yeah, just like Lenny. Lenny!
Lenny!
All right, well, that was fun. I like the name of the game. I thought that was really cool. So, yeah.
Congratulations, Dave.
Thank you. Checks in the mail.
What's on the schedule for next week?
I believe that is Skyrim.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. So I have spent so much time in that game, but ever since I got this update, I haven't really been able to play. It keeps crashing, but they just updated it. And then there's another update coming. It's weird, but I think I just gotta just delete everything and just start fresh, which is just pains me.
It's the way to
do.
go.
I'm hoping.
It's good.
Yeah,
It's been so long, though. It's probably good to get a good regrounding in it, because after a while, you just have so much shit. You have so many weapons. Like, I want to fight with all of them at once. It's good to get a good baseline.
True. And there's some
reset.
new mods out there too. I just want to see the new mods.
Yeah, if you go into I want to go into the Creation Club and just start like specifically hunting them down and doing them. I might have to do that for this.
Okay. Yeah.
Because like they are pretty tucked away. If you look at like the descriptions on some of them, like you have to go to the specific bar in solitude and read the specific book on a table, and like that'll start the quest for you. So it'd take a little bit of diving to figure out what's new, what's not new.
Yeah. I know the game's been out for 10 years at this point. If you're listening and you've played the game, like refresh if you want. We're going to be digging into this game. There's a lot to talk about with Skyrim.
I feel like we'll have to restrain ourselves a little bit, because it could easily go into like a 3-hour episode, because I know we all love this game.
It's definitely one of my favorite games of all time. So, yeah, just I would start now. Just kind of refresh yourself. There's so much content. Dabble with the mods if you want to, or the story, or just walk around. Just literally just go and just walk around. Something's bound to happen that's really cool. That's what's awesome about Skyrim in the series. I mean, Oblivion was good and Morrowind was good, but something about Skyrim, the chance of a dragon just showing up, some vampires fucking with you. That game is fantastic. We will be talking about that for the whole episode next week. So in the meantime, I think we can get out of here. Dave wants to sneak in some Halo.
Let's do it.
Yeah, get a little bit in. I need some practice, apparently.
You need some practice. Yeah, Halo's fantastic. All right, well, let's get out of here.
Peace out.
Safe travels, Nomads.
So you lie to yourself to be happy. There's nothing wrong with that. We all do it. Who cares if there's a few little details you'd rather not remember?
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. Your wife surviving the assault. Her not believing your condition. The torment and pain and anguish tearing her up inside. The insulin.
That's Sammy, not me. I told you about Sammy.
Yeah, right. Like you tell yourself over and over again. Conditioning yourself to remember. Learning through repetition.
Sammy let his wife kill herself. Sammy ended up in an institution.
Sammy was a con man. A faker.
I never said that Sammy was faking.
Exposed him for what he was. A fraud.
But I was wrong. That's the whole point. See, Sammy's wife came to me.
Sammy didn't have a wife. It was your wife who had diabetes.
Ouch.
My wife wasn't diabetic.
You sure?
She wasn't diabetic. You think I don't know my own wife? The fuck is wrong with you?
Well, I guess I can only make you remember the things you want to be true. Like old Jimmy down there.
He's not the right guy.
He was to you. Come on, you got your revenge. Enjoy it while you still remember. What difference does it make whether he was your guy or not?
It makes all the difference.
Why? You're never gonna know.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't.
I will. Somehow. I'll
You
know.
won't remember.
When it's done, I will know. It'll be different.
Well, I thought so too. In fact, I was sure of it, but you didn't. That's right. The real John G. I helped you find him over a year ago. He's already dead.
Don't lie to me anymore.
Look, Lenny, I was the cop assigned to your wife's case. I believed you. I thought you deserved a chance for revenge. I'm the one that helped you find the other guy in your bathroom that night. The guy that cracked your skull and fucked your wife. We found him, you killed him. But you didn't remember. So I helped you. Start looking again. Looking for the guy you already killed.
Oh, yeah? So who was he?
Just some guy. I mean, does it even matter who? No reason, Lenny. No conspiracy, just bad fucking luck. A couple of junkies too strung out to realize your wife didn't live alone. But when you killed him, I was so convinced that you'd remember. But it didn't stick. Like nothing ever sticks, like this won't stick. I took that picture. Just when you did it. Look how happy you are. I wanted to see that face again.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Fuck you. I gave you a reason to live, and you were more than happy to help. You don't want the truth. You make up your own truth, like your police file. It was complete when I gave it to you. Who took out the 12 pages?
You, probably.
No, it wasn't me. See, it was you.
Why would I do that?
To create a puzzle you could never solve? You know how many towns, how many John G's or James G's? I mean, shit, Lenny, I'm a fucking John G.
Your name's Teddy.
My mother calls me Teddy. My name's John Edward Gamble. Cheer up. There's plenty of John G's for us to find.